Hello everyone, welcome back to Spar&Brawl. So Sam, you remember a few weeks ago we made this video called Twitter Destroys Anna Kasparian? So it was about the force to vote whole debate, right? But I guess need to give Anna a little small apology. It's a small one because so basically the tweet that she got destroyed for was the one saying that whether she should believe Jimmy or the head of the nursing union, who said that she was never contacted by forced to vote people, and then it turned out that that was actually the case, and they had been contacted, but whatever. And then Twitter went on to kind of destroy Anna Kasparian, as the young Turks like to say.
I feel like the word "destroy" is a bit of an exaggeration, just in general.
It's a TYT word.
All right.
It has their spirit. But no, it was pretty funny. But anyway, we won't go back to those. But then Anna pointed out she made this whole video, and in the video it seems like Cenk and Anna learned about Twitter bots for the first time.
And there's always been some suspicion that there are bot campaigns taking place, sock puppet accounts, all of that. And the whole point is to, influence public opinion on any given issue.
Like after discovering this, so the tone of it was really funny. But in any case, they point out that this one person who had tweeted, and the tweet wasn't anything bad. I mean, it wasn't a mean tweet or a sexist or a racist tweet, but in fact this person is probably lying, because the person, they go through it and sure, I'm convinced that this is probably not a real person, or if it's a real person they're lying, because the person says, I've been a nurse for 20 years. Then in another tweet they say that if I was a nurse I would do this, and then they show how the person like tweeted like 40 times in an hour. So it's probably not a genuine account. So for that, I thought definitely, we made a video about it. We used that tweet, and if you see the handle is ridiculous. So maybe we should have been like, hey, this is maybe not from a real person. So apologies there. But however, she doesn't, of course, acknowledge any of the other tweets that were in that thread, which most of them...
Let me get this clear. They themselves found out that this is a fake.
No,
Twitter
someone
account,
brought it to their attention.
Somebody brought it to their attention, and then they made a video about how they have comments from bots.
Yeah, how how they start saying a lot of things. I mean, they kind of first say, so you see maybe a lot of the momentum, they were like the force to vote had a lot of momentum, maybe a lot of it had to do with these kind of bots like fake pumping them up, and
it's just that they're piggybacking on it, which then, by the way, also explains the momentum that had, because there were real people who were super adamant and worked up about it. But man, it had huge momentum. And part of the way that you create huge momentum is bot accounts.
Giving them a bigger platform. But, sure, I believe that. I mean, Twitter, me, I hate Twitter. Honestly, I would say you should get off Twitter. It is filled with bots, and it is filled with bullshit. But of course, it goes both sides. A lot of the people who tell Cenk you're great and blah, 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 I'm sure they're also bots and everything. So this really goes both ways. But and then they kind of
I hate this type of coverage, because sure, these things exist, but what's the point? Because these type of coverage usually ends up with the conclusion that we should do some kind of censorship or some kind of control. So I don't understand the point of even mentioning that. Okay, sure, some of your the negative comments.
You really have to listen to it to get like this feeling out of it, but it really they give like this Russiagate spin and feel to it. Like you don't know who running these bots, why are these bots? Like it really seems like they just discovered bots, and that bots are only like attacking them and nobody else. And Anna at first starts the video by saying, I'm no stranger to getting like not harassed. I'm not sure if she used the word.
There has been some conflict among people who purport to be on the left, and then the left that actually engages in good faith arguments and debates. And so as that debate's been raging on social media, certain accounts have been popping up and incessantly harassing people like me. It is what it is. I'm used to it on Twitter. And there's always been some suspicion that there are bot campaigns taking place, sock puppet accounts, all of that.
But getting mean attacks and bad attacks online and all this. And this might not be by a real person, but I mean the content isn't anything bad really. But at the end, go ahead.
That mean?
Yeah, no, definitely wasn't something like that. And the bots are on both sides, and she doesn't look at everything else that's said. And then it's so funny, she even mentions how she despises Jimmy Dore.
Which, to be fair, I do deeply dislike Jimmy Dore, but that wasn't the only reason why I didn't like Force the Vote.
But then she's like, that's not the only reason I didn't agree with Force the Vote, but we've shown this tweet a bunch of times where she says she kind of liked the idea, but she hates Jimmy Dore. But neither here nor there. But now I want to tell you something where I do agree with Anna Kasparian, really. And she says that, can we move on from this Force the Vote thing? It has been 2 months now, right? And yeah, we should move on. And then I was thinking, why haven't there been, discussions of other strategies or other things that, we can do, the left can do to make their policies, happen in the US? And then I was thinking, because this Force the Vote thing really started from the media side of, the progressive YouTube media part. And the YouTube people, news and media people, they don't necessarily always have that much experience in activism or being involved in activism, and that's why there hasn't been too many other suggestions as what to do. So it made me really think that if you're part of the media part of YouTube and all that, okay, if you see yourself as an activist as well, or as someone who's involved on the ground, then sure, take part in suggesting strategies and all that. But if not, maybe your time would be best served to kind of doing the reporting, good reporting, of course, and letting people who have ideas, giving them a platform. But just do your reporting and analyzing instead of kind of doing this little once in a lifetime little strategy. I'm sure a lot of people see themselves as activists, so they'll be like, hey, don't speak for us. But, I've been watching progressive news media forever, for years and years, and I can't think of too many other strategies or ideas that came out of the left, perhaps except some of the stuff that actually Young Turks did, and and also Kyle Kalinske with all the Justice Democrats and all that. That's one good exception.
Well,
but yeah, I don't know what you make of that.
It's not that I disagree. I just look at it in a different way. I think the current leadership of the so-called, let's say, people who have more left-wing policies, like people like the most famous one, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or even Bernie Sanders, somebody who's a senator. So far, the political leadership have proven to be very incapable and very timid, at least, in their approach. The organizations like unions and what the DSA, I think, was the organization that was involved a lot in the Force the Vote and stuff. They also seem to be quite incapable. Unions have been incapable for many years, and they've become these corrupt bureaucracies that tend to support establishment Democrats. And by the way, left-wing media, which used to be MSNBC and CNN, that type of thing, the same has happened to them in many ways. So I just don't think, ideas for change can come from anywhere. And to be honest, media's potential for presenting ideas and pushing ideas, I think, is limitless, as we saw with Trump, who was basically a media personality that became a political official. So I think it's more of a timing issue. I definitely agree we shouldn't talk about what has passed anymore, except that now we know what certain people would act during urgent situations, and should we count on them or should we not count on them? I think it's more of a timing issue. next time there is a big bill, next time there is a budget bill, or next time there is something like a corona relief bill. Whenever there is these times, officials have leverage. Therefore, I think media people, activists, or whoever, or somebody who writes letters to Congress people or senators or writes emails, all of them, it's about the timing. I don't really think it's much to do with the failures. I don't think has much to do with the fact that it came from media people. I think to be honest, in this specific case, I think it had more to do with the timidness of the political leaders, really. So, sorry, I just disagree there.
No, I kind of agree too. I'm not saying it's not their place. And the media the media is everything. It gives voice to any of these kind of ideas. But I'm saying, because we don't spend too much thinking about these kind of things, like the specific strategies and ideas we come with. Sure, if we come up with some, that's good. But I don't see too many coming of them from the media, because we don't spend our time thinking about these things, whereas some people do spend their time thinking about these things.
I think some media does.
Yeah, some do.
Yeah,
for sure.
On these. But you're right that you should learn the specifics. You should learn the details of, if that happens, then this happens, then that happens. But I think to be honest, there should be more of that. There should be more focus on real stuff, real procedural stuff, and how you can do stuff like that. And that would make media better, basically. I would think.
Yeah, I like procedural stuff, like specific things, but also kind of big picture ideas.
Sure.
Definitely. I don't know, but I think I kind of agree. And initially also I was saying that Jimmy Dore introduced this idea and strategy, and that's why I said it's not really his responsibility to tell you exactly how to do it or to organize the unions and all that, because he's not he's not an activist necessarily in that way on the ground, but more like a media person. Which I think that's why it's fine if he didn't, they didn't coordinate the best way. Exactly, because the media,
each person has a role to play. I definitely agree with that, but I think you need people from all sorts, in all aspects of political life to push for it, and media seems to be a huge part of it, even if it's a strategy that maybe is a bit complicated.
No, but I think just the media will most likely, just continuing as always, do a better job of kind of critiquing ideas and giving voice to certain ideas and questioning other ideas, rather than coming up with original ideas themselves, because not everybody in the media really has that other activist kind of mindset or role at the same time. I think that was kind of point I was trying to make, but yeah.
Fair enough. But I just hope there is more action, though, not less action. You know what I mean?